Tony. We know that Man City are going to be the team to beat next season. No question about that, aren't they?
Treble, one after the other, right? It's incredible. Yeah, what does Liverpool have to do? You know, they must be absolutely gutted. You know, I had them down as champions at the beginning. They were my tip to do it, and they were 97 points. It's just, you know, I see Michael Edwards talking, who's the technical analyst there next to Kenny Dalglish. You know, where did they go through? You know, who do they recruit to actually go in front of City? They've spent 75 million on a central defender. Where's the improvement to actually get the lead?
Yeah, because they plugged the gaps of last season, centre-back and goalkeeper, didn't they? They've got the front three are brilliant. Origi's come off the bench and done well. Oxlade-Chamberlain will be fit, you would imagine, for August and get back up to speed, so that gives them an option. But it's hard to know what more they can do.
Yeah, it's very difficult. It's very difficult. I think they had that moment, didn't they? Was it 7 points that they had?
Yeah. And
they had that little kind of moment where their front three just were not firing on all cylinders. I think Mo Salah wasn't quite at his best, which allowed, you know, City to get their foot right back in the door. And these are the margins that we are working with now in the Premier League. You know, these two football clubs are so far ahead of everybody else. The rest of them need to be seriously worried. Because I only see Liverpool and Man City going toe-to-toe again next season. Liverpool's time's going to come. It's as simple as that.
Well, it might come in Madrid in a few weeks in terms of a trophy.
Well, I hope not, so let's not go to the wrong person in regards to that. But with regards to the league, they have been doing things too well this year. You could see the signs of it last year. And I think when you're consistently doing the right things, then the right things start to happen. And for that football club, I believe it will come very soon.
Yeah. Didn't Sir Alex used to say to you that draws are no good to me, Ince?
It depends at what stage of the season you were in.
He said quite a lot of things to you, I know. But
yeah. No, but it did, because obviously I think when you get to the latter part of the stages, draws are no good for you. You've got to keep winning games. Yeah. I think we won it in '92. I think we won the last 7 games on the bounce to win it. But going back to what JJ said on Liverpool, you know, as long as Pep's at City, I think they won't win it. If Pep was to move... I do. If Pep was to move, then I think they've got more chance of winning it. And I hope I'm not... You know, I don't want it to happen, because I think Klopp's done a fabulous job. But they're still players. He's so reliant on the front three. You know, he's tried... He's brought Shaqiri in to get enough game time. If Firmino's injured, who's the next one to come in? Origi. No, Origi was on loan in Belgium before he came back.
He scored important goals.
Yeah, I know, but he's not going to play week in and week out. You know, and you look at... Listen, the City team is world-class. You know, if Liverpool can add 2 or 3 to that, they always keep challenging, but you see, I don't think that they've got enough to beat them.
Michael, my point about the draws is, so City won 32, drew only 2 and lost 4. We know that Liverpool only lost 1. They drew 7. Just, you know, I remember they drew with Leicester in the New Year in the snow. You know, and they drew at Old Trafford and Goodison, which on the face of it, you'd say absolutely fine. But, you know, when the margins are so narrow, that's the issue.
Yeah, well, we'll look back now and look at those little stats and say, well, this is where it happened. And of course we can, but they could start next season and be totally the opposite. Liverpool could lose, you know, a few next season and draw fewer. So it's, you know, we're always going to pick holes now. I mean, it's lovely at Anfield at the moment. You would think that everybody would be, you know, upset but they've all got their families over. Salah's daughter ran up to the Kop and scored a goal and the whole stadium erupted.
So it doesn't count. He doesn't get the golden boot for that.
No, exactly. that might be the one that wins 23. It outright. Yeah. And I mean, listen, this Liverpool fan support now is so proud of their team. This is as good as Liverpool have been for a long, long time. It's been an amazing season, whether Liverpool win in Madrid or not. It's an amazing season. Jurgen Klopp has put a smile on everyone's face, and you know, some people will say football's all about winning trophies.
OK, I'm going to be devil's advocate now. What they've done here is extraordinary. But if they don't beat Tottenham, then we still say this is a brilliant Liverpool team, but they can't get over the line. And those are perfectly valid questions if they don't win in Madrid.
Are they perfectly valid? I'm not sure they are, because...
Well, to be that good and not win things...
But they haven't bottled it, have they?
No one said that.
Well, so it's not that they can't get over the line. They've when the pressure's been on, they've won, and they've won, and they've won, and they've won. They haven't even drawn.
But the pressure will be on in Madrid to win.
Of course it will. Of course it will. But
you can only ask that after the final.
Yeah.
You can't even... If they don't win the final, you can't say that you know, they're regressing or they're not good or they're not going to win anything.
No, but you can say why. You can say they're not getting over the line.
OK, but there's a lot of teams that aren't getting over the line.
Plenty.
They will.
They're a little bit more. The formation is a bit rigid to me. rather than the 7 draws that they got. I think if they've got a silver, I know we're being really picky here, they've got 97 points. So, you know, but I'm just saying you can convert them, maybe them draws, because the system is a 4-4-3 or something. He's had the two kind of sitting there and they've kind of kept rigid in that system, which made them better defensively. But offensively, when you had to kind of win games, your little silvers and players that are, you know, kind of nicking the goals for you, like a number 10, like we had at
Coutinho,
Dennis.
they lost Coutinho, didn't they, not so long ago, and you could argue that person to unlock a door. However, as we've all said, they play in a different way to Manchester City.
But they needed to lose Coutinho to buy Alisson and to buy Van Dijk.
Well, and Alisson's just picked up the Golden Glove award as well, and he was. Do you know what? He didn't make any saves today where it takes your breath away, but he's that type of goalkeeper. He just does not seem to ever be out of position. He was brilliant today. Played really
but
well.
Tony's point, Tony, you're right, because if you're a bit more fluid there, clearly the maths will tell you it's worth. You've lost the title by a point. You win one, you lose one, rather than you draw two. Now you're level on
That's
points.
just too picky.
I don't think you can go.
You've lost by a point. You need to do anything.
And they're the highest place points in.
But hang on, do you not think that Jurgen Klopp's thinking, where can we pick up an extra
Get better, but if you put Coutinho back, who are you going to take out? Do you know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah.
OK, take Origi out. Well, then you'll say, well, he got those 6 points. Well, Coutinho got us more. You
can't manage that.
It's very different.
You
can't get much better than they are.
You can put them on, use them off the
impact
bench.
players.
To get them draws into wins, you need a squad of players.
In any season, in any title-winning season, Tony, and you know better than anyone, you know, you can look back to so many games if we'd have done this, if we'd have done this. You can't just go because they drew 7.
No, you can't. Look,
you know,
I'm just saying the whole round squad of Man City is better than Villa.
Yeah, of course,
the whole round squad.
From a financial point of view, rightly so.
Well, no, the type of players.
Different style of system.
they've had an
different type of
unbelievable
players.
season. It's as simple as that. You can pick the bones out of anything. Now it's 97 points. I'm sorry, like it's a stupid number that they've managed to get. The only a place where I would see he could improve and maybe take a little bit of pressure off himself as well is stop chucking the FA Cup away. Give yourself another. You know, then this whole thing of, oh, you've not got over the line and you've not won a trophy. You know, you give yourself more opportunities to win the League Cup, win the FA Cup. Stop just going right.
League.
Stop. What?
Well, he might win the Champions League.
No, yes, granted, but he did the same last year and didn't win the Champions League. I'm talking about the conversation from what Pugas has said. If they don't win the Champions League, so and if they don't win the Champions League, then. You know, you say what you want, but the reality is it's a great team, and it won't go down in the history at Liverpool as one of the greatest because of the amount of trophies they've won at that football club.
I make the point again to you, Tony. Your team after '98, you had a great team. You lost by a point. You know, that's how small the margins are.
Man United probably have the better squad than us.
Yeah.
And they pushed us, and we were weak in different areas. When Nelson Vivas comes in at left back instead of Nigel, you know, we've given the goal away at Leeds. Hasselbank's got it at the far post. We lost.
So those are the small margins.
It is small margins. It really is. So I just think Man City's got a better squad, and they've won it because they're a little bit more flexible and they're a bit more creativity going forward.
And we know they're going to go again, Man City, aren't they? I mean, in terms of buying this summer, not mad, but they'll go again. They'll buy one or two. I think they'll have a sort of. I'm not saying a Fernandinho replacement, but they'll look at that position and think, with his age, we probably need another one.
I think he's seen enough fragility. I mean, it sounds weird to use that word, but you know, for this particular squad, but a few players.
Left back.
Yeah, just the breaking down of injuries. De Bruyne would have been really unexpected, but would have shocked him to the core and gone, actually, maybe, Fernandinho. A few of them where he's gone, you know, how long is Aguero going to give me that level of performance year in, year out? They'll bolster their squad again, you know, young with good players, but it won't be too many, I don't think.
Pep's got to win the Champions League now.
Yep.
Yes.
That's the
Well,
one.
no one's ever won the domestic treble, so if he does that, that'll be his first task this time next week. Obviously, plenty of people have won 2 trophies in a season, but no one's won the domestic treble. Be fascinating. Will Tottenham be as strong next season? Do you expect Tottenham to be the next team? I mean, they've actually finished 4th, but you know what I mean. I think most people would say that Tottenham has shown more than Chelsea this season.
Well, on the basis of Chelsea, you know, with the embargo that they've got put upon them and possibly losing the best player in the league, they're not going to be as strong as they were this year. Arsenal are not showing any signs of spending. From what I'm hearing. Whereas I think from Tottenham's point of view, I think just the pure fact they're in a Champions League final will attract good players. Yep. And by all accounts, Daniel Levy has said there is money to spend. So they will be much better than they were this year. I fully expect Leicester and Everton, Wolves to have a right go at that top
Norwich.
6.
Who?
Right go at that top 6.
Yeah.